Hi everyone. Haven't done a live for a while, so I thought I'd get on now while it's nice and quiet here. I'm just going to be doing a dip tutorial today. I'm going to be using a Confidips one called Mystic Exothermal. It's quite nice. It doesn't look very... I've just done that hand. I haven't finished it yet though. So I'm just going to start right from the beginning. I'll just leave it a moment so that gives people a chance to join. Hi if you've just joined me. Get all my bits together that I need. So I've already put my tips on and I've clear dipped twice and activated. I've buffed the surface, but I'm just going to go in now and start from the beginning. And this is what I do. I have one of these cuticle pushers and I just push these back just like so. That way you'll see some sort of dead skin appearing once you've done that. I'm just going to go all the way round to make sure they're all pushed back. It just makes it look really nice and sort of neat and tidy at the end as well. That's it, they're all pushed back nicely. I'm only going to be doing one hand at the moment. So then I go over with one of these buffing blocks. They're quite nice, they're called Maryton from Amazon. So I'm just going to go all the way around that edge just to get rid of any sort of dead skin there. If you've got any questions, you can comment and hopefully I'll see them as they come up. Pop me a hi if you're watching. So I'm just going to go over the whole of that now with my buffing block, because what you don't want a really smooth, shiny surface. And also it gets rid of all the dead skin around that cuticle area there. So yeah, just go all the way over the nail, pushing back on that cuticle with the buffing block. So yeah, if you've only just joined me, I've already put my tips on and put 2 layers of clear powder, activated and filed and got my shape in that I want. So at the moment, I've just pushed the cuticles back with the cuticle pusher. And now I'm just buffing the surface with the buffing block just to get all that dead skin off and have a nice surface to begin dipping. Activated and filed and got my shape in that I want. So at the moment I've just turn the tablet down. Okay, let's wipe those off. So I use this Blue Sky cleansing solution to wipe off any of the dust there, because you don't want any of that dust on your nail when you begin. I'm just going to take my jumper off because I'm overheating. Sorry, excuse me for a moment. Sorry about that. The telephone always goes when you start going on live. So I'm just going to get one of these little lint-free wipes. Again, all off Amazon. I do have a list pinned to the top of the group in featured with all of the items that I use. So just you can pop on there and get the links from that. So I just go over every single nail with that cleanser just to give the surface a good clean off. I think it's like if you've got any isopropyl alcohol, I think that's how you say it, alcohol cleanser or something like that, that works just as well. So you can just push all those cuticles back as well while you're doing that. There we are, all nice and clean. I just let that dry for a moment. I get my dip ready. So I use the cake cases and I just pour the dip powder into the cake case and I lay my fingers into that. I just really like that method. Some people pour the dip over the nail, which is brilliant too, but I just like to use the cake cases. I just find them really, really good and super easy. Okay, so they should be all ready. Now I also use one of these, I think they're like dotting tools. Let me show you. It's a bit close up. It's a nice fine end. On the other end, it's sort of like a little ball there. But if you get a packet of dotting tools off of Amazon, they're just as good. This one's Miley. And the end of this I find is just right to go around the cuticles. Okay, let's get started. I think I've covered everything there. So if you've got any questions, just pop them in the comments box and I'll do my best to answer. Okay, so I use the Lavender Violets liquids. This is the base which you start layering your powder with. Unscrew the bottle, it's got a bit stuck there. That's it, lovely. So when you first start using your dip liquids, you don't want too much on the brush. You just want to sort of, as you're pulling the brush out, just wipe it on the edge of the bottle there. So make sure that's in view. So I go over the whole nail with a nice even layer. Just like that. And then I just lay my finger into the cake case like so. And then give the nail a little tap to get any of the dust off there. And this is where I, even though I haven't gone right to the cuticle on this layer, I will still go around the edge with the dotting tool. And also if you've got a dip with any of the little flaky bits in or any glitter, you can tap them down really gently and then they'll sort of stay in that layer of that dip. Okay, on to the next one. If any of my moderators or admin are on, can you just pop me a hi so I make sure I can get the comments up? Sometimes it doesn't work. Good old Facebook. So give those foils a shake to get them to the top. And just lay your finger into the powder. There we are. Give that a tap off, and again just go around the edge. Although you haven't gone right to the cuticle, I'm leaving a sort of gap like that. You could still go around the edge with your dotting tool just to make sure there's none on the skin at all, because you don't want any of the base liquid on your skin. Okay, on to the next one. As I say, nice even thin layers if you can. Not too much onto the nail, and just go over that. I don't go right to the cuticle. Give those little flakes a good shake to get them to the top, and then you'll get a nice lot on the nail. Give it a tap. You can just tap lightly down there, just to make them all stick in there. And then round the edge with your dotting tool. Hi Joey, could you pop me a hi please to make sure I'm getting the comments? Okay, on to the next one. Nice even thin layers. And just lay that in the powder. Nice hair there. And all the way around the edge there. Hi if you're watching. Pop me a hi. There we are. That's that one. Give those foils a little shake up. And a little tap off. And all the way around the edge. So that's your first layer done. It doesn't look like I'm getting the comments up, guys. Let's have a look what's going on. Ah, there we are. I've got them. Sorry about that, guys. Hi, Anna. Hi, Joey. Hi, Maz. Oh, your nail's quite short. Oh, dear. Hi, Emily. I've got a new tablet, so I'm not quite sure how to use it, to be honest. So I've just literally managed to get the comments up. Brilliant. Okay, I'm going to brush those off. So I'm just going to move that out of the way for a moment. I use one of these nail brushes, again from Amazon. They're just right for this, but make sure your dip is dry. I'm literally only doing one hand today, so I've just left that for a moment, just a couple of minutes. That will be absolutely fine. And then just brush off. If you use one of these soft brushes, you'll get a lot of the powder left on your nail. So you know, if you've got the stiffer brush, much better to use that. And just give them a really, don't be worried about brushing off. Just give them a really, really good brush off. The sun's just come out here in the UK. It's been raining all day. Okay, on to the next layer. So as you can see, I've left a gap by the cuticle there. It really does save on that build up on the cuticle area. And not quite often, if you get too much of a build up in the cuticle area, that's when they start cracking and lifting there, and you get your hair stuck in them and all sorts of things like that. So yeah, so if you just sort of go right to the cuticle but leave a gap on your last dip, I often find that's the sort of best way to do it. Also saves filing down that big ridge that you would get by the cuticle. So just giving that a tap off. Pop me a hi if you've just joined. It's always nice to know who's watching. Again, so I'm just going all the way around the edge with that dotting tool or toothpick. People use the toothpicks, just as good, or the little wooden cuticle sticks. I think I've still got one left in my pot. So these sort of wooden cuticle sticks are just as good as well. This one's a bit blunt actually, but yeah, they work fine. You can get big packets of those on Amazon. That's it. And I'm just patting down the foils just to make sure they're not sort of sticking up. It saves on filing at the end. Plus you sort of get a nice lot on the actual nail. So I'm just using the base liquid to build up the layers. And all the way over. As I say, nice thin layers. And that's what you want, not a big blob of base liquid. And lay that nail in. You can sort of move the cut case over as well, just to sort of get a nice lot on that nail. And then go all the way round with your toothpick or dotting tool. as I say, if you don't go right onto the skin or near the cuticle with your base liquid, you should be absolutely fine. See, these are not my natural nails, they are nail tips, and any of the items I use, they're on the pinned bit at the top of the group, in featured, and you'll see all of the items that I use there with the links. I'll give that a tap off. See, that's building up nicely, and that's the second layer there. So I use mostly Confidips and CN Designer from the US. Even though I'm in the UK, I do treat myself because I really like their dips. I love all the thermals and the UV dips. They're all really good. We don't have a great deal of dip powders in the UK, so I know I do, and I know a lot of other people do in the UK order. Etsy's really good for nail dips. There's loads of different companies on Etsy. Just give that a little shake up. And a tap off. And all the way around the edge. And on to the next one. Hi, if you've just joined. You can re-watch this if you choose, if you want to watch the whole thing again. There we are. And lay that in the powder. So this has got loads of little different coloured flakes in, and it's a thermal powder. All the way around the edge there. So I haven't done a live for a while, so I thought I'd get on while I'm doing these. And you can see where it's thermal, you can see where it's, obviously it's warm at the end there, and it's turning pink. Okay, that's that layer there. I'll just give that a moment to dry. So this one is a Confidips, and it's called Mystic. I will put some photos on later. Okay, just move that to the side a moment. How is everyone today? What's everyone been up to? So I use these stiff brushes. I just find them really, really good. A bit massive packet on Amazon for a few pounds or dollars or whatever currency. So just don't be afraid. Once they're dry, 2-3 minutes, give them a really good brush off to get rid of that excess powder. Okay, so that's 2 layers. I'm just going to go in with the last layer now. Just give those a little shake up. So again, with the base liquid on my last layer, this is when I'll go the closest to the cuticle, but not onto the skin. Nice even coverage all over the nail. And then just lay it in that powder. Three layers of this will be plenty, but obviously some dip colours you might need another layer. You might need 4 layers, but with this one I know it's only 3 layers. And just pat those foils down so you get a nice A lot of foils on there. Don't know if you can see, I'm still leaving a gap there. So this is the layer that I will be going as close to the cuticle, but not on the cuticle, not on the skin. It does take practice to get that right, you know, to not get it on the skin. But take your time. That's all I can say, is take your time and practice. And you'll get there. Again, round the outside, just creates that really nice, neat shape there that you want. To this one. I use the Lavender Violet Dip Liquids. I really love the bottles. They're not expensive, and I get mine on Amazon, but I often leave it till the last minute until I've run out of a bottle or something, so I order them from Amazon so I can get them next day. But I know they do them on Temu and they're a lot cheaper, so bear that in mind if you want to try out the Lavender Violets liquids. Move that brush off. Just go round, all the way around that cuticle area there to get that nice line in. All the way over there now. Give those a shape to get the lovely foils up to the top. A little tap off. And then round that cuticle line there. That's it, last one. Lovely. And just lay that in the powder there. There we are. You can see where it's just changing colour there. I've done this one once before and I absolutely adored it, so I thought, right, I'm going to pop that one on again because I know I love it. Even though I've got pots and pots of powder that I probably haven't even used yet, I often go back to the ones that I love. Let's pop the lid on that. Okay, so I'm just going to let those dry in for a moment. Try and find my glass of water. I don't know quite where I put it, but probably didn't bring it in. Never mind. So let's just give those a minute longer. I'll just get my brush ready and my clear dip. So this is the clear dip that I use. It's called Saviland Dipping Powder and it's clear. Again from Amazon. Really good value for money. This pot will last for ages and ages. So that's the clear dip that I use, and that's the next stage. I know, And I mean, I've got literally so many that I've recently bought that I haven't used. It's terrible. Okay, they should be dry now. I'm just going to brush those off. And the hands. Okay, let's get clear dipping. So we use the clear dip to encapsulate that colour and the glitters. Otherwise, you know, obviously you're going to activate them and then you're going to file and buff all of that lovely colour and glitters off. So this is the step that you must do really for any glitters or anything really. Even if it's a plain colour, I will still clear dip. So again with your base liquids, so you do need a little bit more base liquid on this layer. It tends to sort of soak into the colour layers that are already there. So go all the way over and make sure that it's all covered. No bumpy bits. Make sure it's all covered. Because this is a nice big pot of clear, I'll just dip my finger into that and then tap off. Again, your base liquid. And just dip that straight into the pot. If it's big enough pot, dip it into the pot. I always pour my colour powders into a cake case, but with the clear powder it's such a lovely pot that I just dip my finger straight into it. I will go, once I've done one finger, I always go back and then re-dip the clear because it does soak up the base liquid. So if it still looks a bit wet, pop it back in the clear powder. Yeah, for some reason it just does that. It tends to soak the base liquid up quite a bit and then it stays wet. So just make sure you've got plenty of clear powder on there to soak it all up. So all over that now, make sure it's all covered and then dip into the clear. Base liquid. The brushes are lovely on the lavender violets as well. Absolutely super. Nice bottles that don't fall over. I know some of the little bottles that you get in the dip kits are super light and they'll just fall over like these ones. That's from a dip kit. But when you buy the actual dip liquids on their own, they're much better and they're much bigger. And on saying that, I use the little bottle holders. I think they're brilliant because they sort of keep the bottle where they are and you don't have to sort of mess about with holding the bottles or anything. Dip that back in. Now you'll see what I mean by you need to re-dip that in the clear because it's still wet. So I'll just pop that one back in. If it looks wet, pop it back in the powder. This is the clear powder if anyone's just joined. That's it. So they've got lots and lots of powder on. That's how I like them to look. Lots of lovely clear powder. Now, with the clear powder, it takes longer to dry than the colour powder. So you know, at this stage I would be going on to my next hand to finish that off or do something else with the next hand. but as I'm only doing one hand, I'm going to leave them to dry in a little bit more. I think they've got enough powder on, so I'm going to put the lid on that clear powder. So the next stage, once they're dry, I mean, I would leave them a good 3 to 4 minutes with the clear powder. If you can leave them a little bit longer, 5 minutes is plenty, but you definitely need to leave that clear powder a little bit long to dry, because you don't want to start brushing it off when it's wet, because you'll get all the streaks and you'll get little white blobs under, you'll see the little white specks if it's not dry enough. So definitely give that clear powder layer a little bit longer to dry than you would your colour dip. Whoops. So yeah, we'll give that a little bit longer. You'll need to brush that off, and then you'll need your activator, which is that one there. So on the Lavender Violets, it's number 2, and it's very watery. It's not like your base liquid. It's a very watery liquid, and you just want to absolutely put lots and lots of activator on that level. I'll just clear those bits up. And to finish, I use a buffing block and nail file. I don't use any e-files or anything like that to finish. So I'll show you what I do when I get to that stage. So I'm going to start brushing that thumb off there first. So as you can see, there you go. It still looks cloudy. Don't worry about that. If you're just new to dipping and it looks sort of a bit cloudy, don't take no notice of it. It will be absolutely fine. I was really worried the first time I put clear powder on. So that's that one there. So I'm just going to start one by one, just so I can give them a bit longer to dry. Again, these are the little pots that I use to hold my bottles. So when I say lots of activator, I mean just literally lots and lots. Soak that nail in that activator all along the free edge there. I know someone posted about the free edge in the group earlier. Activator's just as important as top coat when you're activating. Brush that one off. I'm just going to brush them all off now because they should be dry now. If they're dry, you can really give them a good brush without worrying. They're all lovely and dry. Okay, so I'm just going to go for it with the activator. You don't need to be all neat and tidy with this. You can really just give it a good cover. Hi, if you've just joined, pop me a hi. Tell me where you're from. So lovely, just pop that whole lot on there. You don't need to worry about this going onto the skin, it's absolutely fine. I always leave a window open. People are talking about dip flow. I don't suffer too badly, but I would. If I didn't have my window open in my room, I would suffer with sneezing and a runny nose. But always have my window open, and that seems to stop it. But yeah, just be really careful. Don't sit right close to the base, especially the activator. That seems to be the strongest one. Okay, that's the activator on. Just put the lid on that. It doesn't take long to dry. A couple of minutes, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. You'll know when it's dry. I'll show you exactly what I mean in a moment. I don't need my little brush anymore. It can go away. So I don't know if you can hear that. If you tap it and it sounds quite hard and crispy, you'll know it's ready to be filed. That that one's ready. So I'm just going to start filing this. I'm just going to let my dog out of the room because he wants to go out. Off you go. Good boy. He's had enough of me. He's bored of me now. Lovely. So let's start filing. So I use one of these files here. It's an 80-100 grit. It says ABA Group, again off Amazon. All of my bits that I use are pinned to the top in featured, along with my other tutorials. So if you're new to the group, check them out. It might help you with a few hints and tips. So I just go over the top and the sides just to get that shape back in, because you do lose it when you're doing the dip powders. You'll lose that lovely shape a bit. So just go all over that to get your shape back in. And then I just use one of these buffing blocks. This isn't a super bumpy one, so it won't need a lot of filing. Don't over file and get bare patches. So when you've done the clear to encapsulate, you're not going to rub that colour away, so don't worry about that. So I just go right the way over now. Make sure there's no bumpy bits at the side. I push into the cuticle a bit. All the way over that now. Just so it's nice and smooth. So if you just push your other thumb over that top of that surface, you'll feel if there's any ridges or bumps. There is still some there. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep buffing that now until it's nice and smooth. Just a tiny bit on the end there. You'll see it changing colour because it's getting hot where I'm buffing it. That's fine. So again, I use one of the little lint wipes with the cleansing lotion, the Blue Sky cleansing lotion. It's a 3-in-1 solution. I've used this for years. It's so good. And then I just go over that now to get rid of any of the dust. You don't want any dust on that now whatsoever. Prior to activating and top coating again. So give that a nice wipe, and that's that now done there for the moment. Just pop that there and just get that shaping again. Get that nice edge or point, whatever shape your nail is. So with mine, I just taper in at the ends a little bit, just to get so it's not totally square. So I literally just take the edges in. That way you don't get that big fat square nail. Okay. If you've got any questions, guys, just pop them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer. I'll say this isn't a particularly chunky or rough dip, so it's quite nice to work with as well. I'm not overly keen on glitters. I'm a bit lazy probably. I will do a glittery one every so often, a chunky glitter, but I prefer the little foils and the little flakes in the dips. It's definitely not a quick process. So if you haven't bought a dip set yet, it's not a quick process. A lot of us do our nails as a hobby. If you want something quicker, then definitely dip isn't for you. But yeah, just the longer you take to buff and get the shape and get it right, the better it'll look. So I push into the cuticle with the edge of this as well, to get that nice clean line. That's lovely. I think that's done. There's a little tiny bit there that still looks a little bit bumpy. fine. That's that one done. So again with the cleanser, just to clean that nail off. That's lovely. So you just want to sort of get that shape back again, because when you've finished your dipping, it does alter the shape a bit. So you just want to go over to get your shape in again, and this is the time to do it. So these buffing blocks are really good. The Meriton ones are absolutely fab. They're ideal. They're just not too coarse. They're just right to get that nice finish. Hi guys, sorry my comments are just not loading today for some reason. Hi Laurie, hi Pamela from Switzerland, hi Maz from Portsmouth. Sorry, I'm just trying to read through the comments. Okay, let's carry on. So yeah, just carry on, get that lovely shape in. So I like to sort of taper them in at the sides a bit, just get whatever shape you sort of want. If you're applying tips for the first time, I've got a tutorial in the featured section at the top. That's, you know, hopefully helpful to people that are just putting tips on for the first time. I've also got tutorials on the gel method. That's good as well. If you're getting dip flu quite badly, you can use the gel method, and I have a tutorial for that. So yeah, just give those a really good buff down. To say, you don't want any bumpy bits or anything catching at the cuticles. You want it nice and smooth. You can sort of feel over with your thumb to make sure you haven't got any sort of bumpy bits there. It needs a bit more at the sides. I'm really fussy. I hate any bumps or anything that can catch. Yeah, I think that one's all right. Let's feel with that finger. That's all good. Give that one a little wipe. I should go over and wipe them all again anyway, just to make sure they've got no dust on, because you definitely don't want to be going on to the next stage where you've got any powder or anything on your nail. So I'm just going in to get that shape back into the nail. definitely go over the top because you don't want any sort of rough edges there. So just go over the top with that file. Hi if you've just joined. Just give those a really good buff down, guys. You don't want any bumps or anything sort of catching at the cuticle there. You want it all really nice and smooth. The longer you spend on it, the better effect you get at the end. That's all good, that's all done. As I say, that dip was really nice to work with. It's not too much hard work either. I'm just going to give these another wipe down just to make sure I haven't got any powder lurking around on that nail. Definitely don't want any powder left on the nail when you're top coating, otherwise you get lots of little gritty bits. Lovely. A little bit more there. So this is when I go in with the activator again. This is the last time of using the activator. So just go all the way over those nails. You don't have to be too fussy. Just go all the way over, capping that free edge with the activator. It's super pretty, this dip. It goes a lovely pink colour. So let that dry in. And then I'm going to go on to the top coat. Right, that's absolutely fine. Let's get the top coat on. So on the Lavender Violets, it's the number 3 bottle for the top coat, which is the little red spot bottle. So with the top coat, don't have too much on the brush, the same with the base coat, and just go all the way over the nail, not getting it on the skin. All the way over the nail, capping that free edge. That's how you cap the free edge. You just go over the top and then brush again. And then all the way over the nail. Try not to get it on the skin, guys. Over the edge. Want a nice quick coat of this. That second activator is really important after you've buffed and filed to get this top coat to dry. Over the free edge and back along. Right, as soon as you've done that, go straight back over again. No need to leave any time in between. So just go straight back over with that top coat. This is the most effective way to do activator and top coat. You don't need to leave any time in between. Do one hand at a time as well. Straight over. There's too much on there. Brush some off. Don't want too much on the brush. So straight back over there. You don't need to leave it to dry. It dries pretty quick. Go straight back over. You'll get a lovely glossy finish. There we go. So you want to be leaving these for a few minutes to dry. They really don't take long at all. and then you'll be finished. So let me move that out of the way. I've still got the other hand to finish off, to top coat. So I'm just going to leave those. You can see how pretty this powder is. It's got that lovely pink colour coming through there where my fingers are warm. Yeah, it's pretty good. I think I need to do that one again. I think I missed that one out the first time round, actually. There we go. So there we have it. Thanks, Sonia. That's your finished hand. I always go over when I'm finished with a cuticle oil. I use this one from Cusio. It's really cool. I mean, literally, I've had this bottle for years, and it's been brilliant. It's lasted forever. But yeah, always go over your nails with the cuticle oil every day, and that way they stay in really good condition. It also does save the nail, the polish from cracking, or the powder from cracking. So there we have it, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope it's been helpful. And see you again. Thank you.